Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rachakodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and salutations to you sincere Akim who are tuning into these videos. So this video is going to be somewhat of a PSA going into this situation where, like, when we're out there preaching in the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai under the banner of Great Millstone, we're adhering to what the apostles of Great Millstone and the doctrine that they teach. And so that's why we're coming in that spirit. And so in these times, we're supposed to mark the perfect man as we're calling for the hopeful elect still, because there's going to be some crept in unawares who don't have the same mindset as we do. And as the scripture says in Amos 3:3, can two walk together except they be agreed? Now, this video that's been going around was posted and re-uploaded by some of the older brothers, one from South Carolina and the other one from South Holland. And they pointed out that this individual had this logo that bears striking resemblance to that of those, those Ishmaelis that are like right now and like in the news. You're gonna see these type of banners, and we are privy to how Esau Edom is trying to depict us, how what angle he's trying to do and try to put us in a box so that one, our word is discredited, and two, so that he's able to ostracize us and be able to inflict us whatever, because we are pretty much in the same boat as these radicals, so-called people who are pretty much going around, if you watch the news right now, the situation is getting hot over there in the Middle East, and so that's why we are supposed to mark the perfect man and ultimately tend to the flock, because there's going to come times where, even if this brother that had this logo is a sincere brother, he's coming new into the faith, he has to understand that, like, that's not a vibration that we push out. Having a striking resemblance to that of these people, like here in Google it says the Muslim Brotherhood, because we are supposed to be blameless in this time while we're preaching and prophesying. The only thing that if Esau were to try to get you on is for preachings in the names of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, and spending your weekend or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, one of those days of the week that you go out there in the highways and hedges and preach this gospel unto the scattered nations and to the nation of Israel, pretty much. But you're gonna have people come into this ministry who pretty much either one are spies or two, they don't really understand, and so this might be just like a small hiccup or a mistake. And this is why I'm saying, like, it's like a PSA, because none of us here in Great Millstone have that as our icons. We don't push that vibration, and we're supposed to be blameless. Let me get that precept real quick in 2 Corinthians. Going into pretty much we're supposed to be blameless down here, and like everything that we're doing is being held under a microscope. And it's like Esau's pretty much trying to find anything and everything to pin something on us. So this is in 2 Corinthians 6 verse 3. It says, giving no offense in anything, that the ministry be not blamed, but in all things approving ourselves as the ministers of the Most High, in much patience, in afflictions, in necessities, in distresses. So we're going to go through certain situations, but the main thing is we're supposed to be going under those under Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, not under a different type of vibration, a different spirit, like this logo right here. It's like, to those people who are listening to this video, that's why, I labeled this video somewhat of a PSA, is because at Great Millstone, we don't teach that you're supposed to just go to any and every so-called Black Hebrew Israelite group, because people subscribe to my channel, and I've noticed that some of them are just subscribing to the whole smorgasbord of so-called Black Hebrew Israelite organizations. And it's like, that's not a spirit that we adhere to or that we teach, but rather we go against that. If anything, listen to all of those and then pick one, because like the scripture says, like here in Amos 3:3, can two walk together except they be agreed? Because we know that not every group out here sees eye to eye, and at Great Millstone we are marking the perfect man. we're pretty much pointing out certain people, if they're not right for this word work, or they are. We come in and, or it's like they come in, and we're putting that scopeo on them and trying them ultimately. So this is in Psalms 37 and 37 says, "Mark the perfect man, and behold the upright, for the end of that man is perfect." So there's a certain characteristics that we look for when anybody comes up to us. Like how Apostle Har was saying, whenever anybody comes up to the camp, either they're trying to ask questions or cause a disturbance or whatever. He says his spiritual antenna is up and he's discerning everything. We have to be like-minded. We just don't accept everybody. We try everybody. The elders of our camps went through that, and I went through that, and I expect the same for anybody who has that same mindset when they subscribe to these channels. That this is something that we're not really stagnant in. We're growing in this, and that's why we're pushing off from people who pretty much are causing discourse and teaching wayward doctrines. So I'm gonna read this here because you have to pretty much you gotta lay out all the the things on the table. This most likely is an agent, or he's a person who pretty much just heard about this. He's new in the truth, and he doesn't really know exactly how to conduct themselves amongst the body, the brotherhood, or on YouTube. There's a certain way that we conduct ourselves. We're supposed to be blameless right now, and ultimately learning that lesson of humility. But if that's not the case, these people are pretty much just puppet accounts to try to scope us out and ultimately try to blame us, like how Esau's pretty much trying to do. Then the scriptures speak about that. This is in Jude 1 and 4. It says, "For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord Yahweh power and the Lord Yahweh Shai Hamashiach." So these people are pretty much, in that mindset that they're on a payroll. They're not really doing this for mercy or a chance at salvation. They're doing this for filthy lucre's sake, or, for an ill intent, pretty much, working with Esau to fulfill a narrative. And that's how Esau Edom is going to come in these last days. He's going to come in with terrible, great wrath because he knows that he has but a short time. And he's going to do anything and everything. And while he's doing it, it's going to look pathetic because we're already pointing it out. We're all correcting it pretty much, and already putting all these videos out and re-uploading it so the word has gone out. So not everybody, everybody heard this, so there's no excuse. To any people who come across these channels, that's something we don't recommend, is subscribing to all these various so-called Black Hebrew Israelite ministries, because they all don't teach the same doctrine. And so this is in Revelation 12 and 9, going into Esau, because he's actually doing an agenda right now. It says, "And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him." And as verse 10, it says, I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, "Now is come salvation and strength and the kingdom of our power and the power of his anointed, his Hamashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night." And that's what these Edomites are doing. They're constantly accusing us, in any and every way that they can. And this isn't the first time that Esau has put us on the news and try to depict us like we're just like these crazy people out for blood. None of us are out here doing that. We're all over here working the same type of jobs. We're in traffic. We're paying taxes. None of us are, doing what we're not commanded to do, because like one of these commandments here in 2 Corinthians 6 and 3 is we're not supposed to give offense to the ministry so that it's blamed. We're supposed to conduct ourselves in a righteous manner. So I'm going to read this here too, because, we're going to see a plethora of people coming in these last days, because, this word has gone out. Everybody wants to, push their opinion on, what this movement is all about. But it's definitely not this right here. We're not trying to rage jihad, as the Muslim Brotherhoods like to say. We're doing this all through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. We're not going to lift any finger pretty much. All we're doing is speaking, and this place is starting to move. So this is in 2 Peter 3 verse 3. It says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. So none of us are really doing this like in this ministry for our own filthy lucre's sake. We're not trying to make a name for ourselves, trying to build up a community on YouTube or whatever it may be. But there's going to be people like crept in unawares who are going to have that in their mindset. Scoffers even walking after their own lusts, seeing that this thing that that we have this grace with Yahweh Shai HaMashiach, we're in that secret place, but they're going to try to scope that out and try to use that for filthy lucre's sake, for their own lusts pretty much. But we're pretty much supposed to put Yahweh Shai in the first and forefront of this ministry. It ain't of ourselves that we're going to be delivered. We're just contending for the faith pretty much. And so another precept I have here is in Hebrews 13 and 17. It says, obey them that have the rule over you. So those people because I see a lot of people subscribe to my channel. They're very new to this ministry. And, not all of them, but some of them do subscribe to just a whole bunch of various YouTube channels that I would recommend you unsubscribe from. Pretty much take the advice that if you want to go to those people, listen to them, don't listen to us, because you can't mix these doctrines together. That goes against our doctrine pretty much. But in Hebrews 13 and 17 it says, obey them that have the rule over you. And here at Great Millstone, one of the things that we teach is that there's rank and structure. That we all give double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone because they deserve that honor. Because you got to remember, if it wasn't for them, none of us would really be under a banner. They did a lot of the groundwork so that we can come in this ministry and, benefit with amongst like-minded individuals. This is in 1 Timothy 5 and 17. Let the elders that rule well be counted worthy of double honor. And the apostles have pretty much have been tending to the flock and looking out after us, as they were commanded to do through Yahweh Shai. So we have to understand that there's an order and structure that really, if you come into this ministry and the elders pretty much rebuke you or try to correct you, know that this is because they have gone through those situations. They're learned men through the Spirit. This ministry pretty much makes you evolve, gets better at certain things, so that you're more wise and able to conduct yourself and maneuver through this current captivity. And that's why we give double honors to the apostles, because of the honor that they've received and the work that they put in. But continuing on, it says, especially they who labor in the word and doctrine. So one of these things that I'm trying to push out in this video pretty much is like that PSA. It's actually good advice to unsubscribe to all these other so-called Black Hebrew Israelite camps and just stick to one. The apostles of Great Millstone said it, the elders said it, and I'm saying it, and that's something that you should have in your mind, so that you're not out here just giving heed to all these seducing spirits and just taken away with every wayward doctrine. So this is back in Hebrews 13 and 17. Obey them that have the rule over you, and submit yourselves, for they watch for your souls, as they that must give account, that they may do it with joy and not with grief, for that is unprofitable for you. So we're commanded to tend to the sheep. So most likely this individual is an agent, but then the thing is they're out there conducting themselves as if they're one of us. So a person who just came into this ministry, they don't know a whole bunch of things. They haven't read all the chapters. They think that this individual is one of us, but we're already marking them so that you don't go that route, because we're tending to this flock. We're pretty much telling you that this is not the way to go. This is not rolling in the Spirit pretty much. And the last precept I have here is in 1 Peter 2 and 18. Servants, be subject to your masters with all fear, not only to the good and gentle, but also to the froward. So we're going to be direct in this ministry. Don't get caught up in your feelings if this correction is harsh, because this is actually a beautiful love thing happening. That because I want people who come to these videos, they listen to these videos and adhere to what we're speaking in the spirit. Because this advice is going to benefit you in the long run, pretty much. But with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Rachakwadash. Double honors to the Apostles of Great Millstone, and Shalom Akim.